Hey guys, this week on Bookworm, we talk Anne Rice, Divergent, new reading apps, and we introduce a co-host. And if you stick around, you just might win something. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Bookworm. Some of you might recognize the chick sitting to my right here from our big print versus digital throwdown extravaganza. This is Whitney.
Hello, interwebs.
And Whitney has graciously decided, kicking and screaming at our insistence, to become our new permanent co-host here on Bookworm. We sucked her in.
I came to the dark side. It was pretty fun.
We had cookies.
Yeah.
That's why she came. So.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And we are thrilled. She's kind of our new idea lady.
I'm the idea man.
She is. She's our ideal man. And I'm
Girl Friday.
I'm the watcher. I have books and stuff.
Well, the watcher, the brains, because we need to have brains.
So I'm both Willow and Giles.
At least I'm Buffy.
Oh, fuck you. I'm totally Buffy. I'm all of them. You can be Xander.
Xander?
Well, you can be Oz because you're tiny.
I do like Oz.
Okay, so you're Oz.
Yeah, I'll be Oz.
You crack wise.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty funny.
Okay. So we have some new segments coming up in this week's show that we hope you're really going to enjoy. And we're going to start out today with something we have dubbed
Litwits.
Litwits. Wherein...
No pun intended.
A little bit of pun intended. And in this segment, this is going to kind of be where we discuss new stuff.
What's new in the world of literature?
What are the new strange happenings that we as book geeks get really excited about?
And this could cover everything. So we're going to go digital. We're going to go print. We're going to go with a little bit of everything. It's
kind of an all-encompassing what we think you need to know about. What we think is awesome that we want you to share in our awesomeness with.
Awesome.
Fangirl. Okay, so this week we are going to start out with some...
Talk about fangirl.
some pretty exciting news.
We got a really awesome announcement in the world of Geekland. So, here we go.
The one and only, the queen of our literature realm, has decided to grace us with yet another book. You know what I'm talking about, people?
If you don't...
Shame on you.
Well, not shame, but we will turn you into a bibliophile.
We will convert you.
Tell about the queen.
The queen, Miss Anne Rice. Miss Anne Rice, our Vampire Chronicles author, has just now decided she is going to put out another book. Another Vampire Chronicles book.
We do love our vamps.
We do, and it is entitled Prince Lestat. Oh. Another Lestat book. We have been waiting so long for her to get back to what we love, what she does beautifully, which is the Vampire Chronicles. And it is going to be released this October. So, yes, this year we're going to have a new Anne Rice book. Really freak out, people. Freak out.
You should freak out.
This is freak out a
The Queen. Our Lady. I mean, you have a first edition
signed copy of Queen of the Damned. And what's really great about that is she said that this new book coming up is going to be about what the vampires are doing now. All your core characters that we love, Lestat, Louis, Marius, it kind of follows after Queen of the Damned. And there were some other books in there, some other vampires that we learned about. But she's going back to her core group of people.
Exactly. And that's what's really important. She's going back to the roots, and she's bringing it into our current situation.
What are they doing now?
Exactly.
And
I'm getting chills. Like, I literally have chills right
I can
now.
see that. So, it's freaky.
I mean, we're really...
And you think about how...
Gosh, bookworms.
You think about how Queen of the Damned ended. Mm-hmm. And you now have Lestat with all this power. And you have what later came in the Tale of the Body Thief, where and Memnoch the Devil, where Lestat has these kind of transformative experiences. What the hell does he do with that?
I know.
Who does he become?
Well, we're getting ready to find out.
We are going to find out this October of this year.
And we know we're ahead of ourselves, but the announcement literally dropped this week.
Yeah, it did. I mean, she went on her son's podcast. I almost think her son's podcast and basically dropped the bomb. Guess what? New Vampire Chronicles.
Speaking of technology, you should get on Facebook and follow Anne Rice because she's doing so many giveaways for this book. See, I sent it to you. Did you go on? Did you do it? Am I pulling you into the technology world?
Kicking and screaming, but yes.
You're not screaming anymore. You're still kicking. I have the bruises to prove it, but
I have big feet.
She does have big feet.
I'm sorry. But yeah.
Your hobo bag. That's really what's
what
going
I beat
on.
hobos with. One of these days the cops are going to
Hobo
come.
bag.
Hobo bag.
You girls call it something else, but us litwits, we call it hobo bag.
Hobo bag.
All right, anyway.
What I think is not only the announcement that a new book is coming out, a continuation of this great series, but the hints that she's given that this is the start of something else. A new phase in the Vampire Chronicles.
Yeah, this is the first baby steps, the first little bites, if you will.
The little drink. It's the little drink.
Little sip. Here, have a little sip of what I'm going to offer you before I let you gorge on awesomeness.
And it's like, it's experiencing the dark gift all over again. I'm super excited. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Like, I stalked her house when I went to New Orleans.
Okay, we're getting a little fangirl right now.
I stalked the house. And I took pictures of it. I'm not ashamed. I'm sorry. That's not sorry.
Sorry, I'm not sorry?
Sorry, I'm not sorry. Anne Rice. Love me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so we've gone fangirl.
We have. Oh, God.
Speaking of fangirl, let's change this up. Let's be logical for a moment. We're going to pull out our Vulcan side, because we do have one. And we're going to talk technology. And you, my dear, have been on our research for this technology. I'm really excited, because I gave you the idea and I just wanted to talk about it.
And I went into full freaky, I'm going to find out everything I can about this, and I'm going to make notes, and I have a legal pad that has my notes on it.
We each have a legal pad. It's kind of cute.
So, yeah, I did. I went into research mode with this, because the idea of it...
First of all, let's go with the name. We haven't even told them the name.
It's the Spritz app.
And what's happening is they've been working on this research for the past 3 years, and they're going to release it with Samsung.
Mm-hmm. Like it's a Boston-based tech company. Yeah. And sometime in the near future, nebulous, they haven't really given us much to go on, they're going to be releasing this technology. Mm-hmm. And it's
mass
release. And how the technology works, it's a device, it's an app that is designed to allow people to read faster, to become faster readers, to get through things more quickly.
Speed reading.
It's speed reading. It takes the...
Speed reading on... steroids.
Yeah, like really bad steroids, like Arnold on a bad day.
What? Don't talk about Arnold. Mm-mm. Crossing the line.
Anyway.
Just saying.
It builds on traditional speed reading ideas.
Yes.
The idea
the principle of how to get through quickly.
Word groupings, word recognition, the left of center, which is supposed to be with the optimal place in a word that...
Because you're beginning a word and you're following through.
And you're following through. It's supposed to help you recognize words faster. But the way the technology works is with the tech, it flashes a word at a time on your screen. And you're reading it one word at a time. And one letter in it is highlighted red, which is to the left of center. She's about to bust some shit out here.
I'm just going to try to look. I don't know.
And... it slowly gets progressively faster. The words appear on the screen faster and faster and faster, and it's supposed to help you read. I mean, their claim is like 9,000 words a minute or an hour. You're supposed to be able to read an entire novel in hours.
So they've got 3 settings that I saw, 3 basic settings, and I think you can customize probably. But there's a 250 words per minute.
Which is not super hard.
There was a 300.
Yeah, and then I think the final one was like
450 something
words a minute. Yeah. And they each flash on the screen, and you're supposed to read them as they go along.
And your optimal center point, the optimal recognition point, if you will, is highlighted in red so that you're going from the left to right that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues with this? Like, we were playing around with this app.
I did. I did. They give you these little test samples, and you go through the different speeds. This kind of...
I have a little problem with it.
I have several problems with it.
And I'm the technology person.
But it's not necessarily new technology. There have been...
That's true.
There have been launches of something similar in the past. You have things like... I'm going to check my notes here because I'm a note gal.
That's okay.
You have Spreeder, Quick Reader, and you have something called Read Quick. And these are all things that have been launched in the past for varying degrees of success, for various amounts of money. You can download these things. But they all focus on this RSVP, as they call it, this rapid serial visual presentation technology. And it's the idea that it's the idea of silencing your inner voice. When I read, and I think what a lot of people do, you develop the voices in your
Well, I
heads.
have a movie going on. So as I'm reading, like, I've got action, I've got all these beautiful costumes and people singing and dancing, and this is not helping me.
And you have character voices. We all do it. You know, you're reading about a British character, and in your head, you're thinking Mary fucking Poppins.
Oh, and that was not good either. We are not actors.
We could be. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, most of this technology is used to silence that inner voice. It's supposed to just be word recognition, but you're not following the narrative.
Right.
And according to them, and I find this claim really hard to believe, according to them, you actually have a higher rate of comprehension and retention through this technology.
I don't believe it.
I cannot believe it. I followed along with it, and I did their different steps. And I could recognize the words, and I could read them as they went, but when I was done, I had no idea what I just read.
No. Well, and okay, so we were talking about this before in our throwdown.
Yeah.
Why I like the digital book. Mm-hmm. One of your flaws with it is that you can't go back easily. You can't turn pages back and read quickly. This app, you can't do that at all.
You can't do it at all.
You can't go back 3 words. And I was trying this app out at the lowest setting, which makes me feel a little bit bad about myself. And I couldn't. We were sitting in the living room, and no, it was bad.
I don't necessarily think this is the best technology for someone who's reading a novel.
So it's claiming this insane new app will allow you to read novels in under 90 minutes. And this is on elitedaily.com.
And let me...
Is where this
my question is, who would want to? Part of reading, whether it be on your Kindle or your paperback book, is...
Well, I mean, like, if you need to read a novel or a book for a seminar that you're getting ready to attend, and it's a guest spot, and you want to impress them and say, hey, I've read your book. Maybe.
And I can see it. I can see it maybe for a textbook or something that you're not really.
I don't know about a textbook though, because I need to retain this knowledge. And how am I going to retain what I just read? And that goes back to
the ultimate question of how long is this?
The ultimate question.
The ultimate. Fuck the ultimate. We're not having the fucking Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy again. But it goes back to the question of
deep thought. What? Did I say something wrong? Did I say something wrong, my pretty?
This is why we can't have nice things.
We can't have nice things.
We're gonna have problems. Okay. We're really not. Don't be scared, people.
No, we're okay.
I read about this, and I did the follow along, and I did the reading with it. And the first question I asked myself, and this might be completely random, how lazy have we become as a culture? We don't want to move our damn eyes to read what's on the page. Oh, stare at one place, and the words are just gonna flash at you, and you don't have to do anything for it. It seems so lazy to me. Like, it
just takes a point out of reading a novel for us as bookworms. It just takes magic out of it. I guess that's what we're saying.
Yeah, silencing that inner voice, taking away the engrossing experience of it, which this app really it makes it cold. And I know I'm technologically frightened.
We, for once, are on the same page.
But yeah, even someone who is...
Same page.
Sorry. Honey. Even someone who is a little more tech savvy...
That's what we're calling it, litwit. Sorry, tech savvy.
Someone who's a little more tech savvy, even you find it a little cold and a little impersonal.
Mm-hmm. I do find it that way.
And with everything in our society, it seems like it's kind of slowly but surely moving to this. Everything has to be faster, has to be better, has to be
more. Get
it done, get on to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Don't want to miss anything. That's not what reading is supposed to be. It's supposed to be your...
Could you imagine somebody using this app while driving down the interstate?
Because you know they're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Because they need to get this book read before they get to work in rush hour traffic.
I predict badness.
I do too.
I think badness is going to follow wherever this goes.
Well, not wherever this goes.
Wherever it goes, it's the doom.
On the interstates for sure.
The point being, we as a society, and we, especially as bookworms, don't need to speed up. We need to slow down. We need to take a pause out of the rest of the world, the rest of society, where we have to be going. We have to do this. We have to go to work, go to school, be with friends. You need to have that downtime. And to take something that's supposed to be pleasurable, a pastime that's supposed to be relaxing and enjoyable and engrossing, like reading, and trying to make it more efficient.
Yeah, that's hard. This is a bitter pill for me to try to swallow.
It's like, don't ruin it.
No.
You're taking the fun out of it, the joy of engrossing yourself in it, and making it like a chore, and it doesn't need to be.
So for us, here, at Bookworm, we are probably going to have a hard time with this app.
I'm going to say the nay. Like, no,
I'm going to vote nay as well. But I think that some of you can benefit from this. And I think that most of you... I think everybody should at least look into this. At least check out these articles.
Definitely check it out. If nothing else, if you're a slow reader and you want to get faster at reading...
Now, it does have the lowest setting. So... That low setting might be a good way to... And this actually could just be an exercising tool. Yeah. We could use this as an exercising tool
That was going to be my point. If you wanted to use it as a tool to improve your own reading speed, that's great.
Right.
But I don't think necessarily it's going to be the best idea for someone who actually wants to read a book.
When we say nay, I think what we're saying nay about is the immersion.
Exactly.
The immersion of the book and for what we're needing for. If you're doing it for... You need to get through this book because you've got... things or reasons.
You got reasons.
You got reasons. Stuff. Then we can understand that, and I might use this as a tool, but I don't.
I can
think
see it's
I would
used
use
as a
self-training
tool, but
reading.
Not for my everyday reading pleasure. I would just have to say no.
Yeah. So, but I think that wraps it up.
So check it out for yourself. You can find it online. Again, it's Spritz, Spritz. Mm-hmm. So feel free to check it out. And if you are totally about this and you think it's a great idea and you think we're wrong as shit.
Please tell us. We want to hear.
We want to hear your comments.
We have a telephone number.
We have a telephone number. What is our telephone number?
480-STUPID-9.
There you go.
I actually have something memorized, and I can't
remember
anything.
That's why we keep it around.
I'm the idea man.
Or if you don't want to call and leave a message, go check out the site. thatsstupidpodcast.com.
I have an email address. I'm funny. I'm new, so I got to pick out my own thing, and I picked out Darth Crow.
Now that's with an E, right, at the end of the
Yes,
crow.
I am a crow with an E, so DARTHCROWE. Oh, our About page has my bio. You should check it out.
There you go.
I'm really funny.
She's hilarious. So let us know if you think this is a good idea or a bad idea.
If it's a bad idea, it's Casey, KASI, at thatstupidpodcast.com.
Bring me your hate. Bring it to me. I can handle it.
She has tougher skin than I do. I'll cry.
Don't be afraid of my muscles.
I like your muscles. That's why I keep you around. Okay. Brains and brawn in the same package.
That's why I'm the Slayer.
Woo! Slay alive.
Slay alive.
Okay. I think that actually brings us to our next little segment that we started.
I think so too.
Slay alive. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. But, we have a little slayer here.
I'm a slayer in training.
I had this really awesome idea. I'm going to claim it.
I give you leave to claim this one.
Bookworms assemble. It's really exciting.
Da-da-da-da.
So what this podcast is we're calling all bibliophiles.
Come to us. Join us.
Join us. Come to the dark side. Because we do have cookies, A. But B, we want to see how pop culture is influenced by our world of literature.
And vice versa.
That's true. Because we're going to start with the reverse.
We're going to start with something that started as visual media. Started as a TV show. And found a way to transition into print.
It dug so deeply into our little fangirl world.
That we could not let it go.
We couldn't. And neither could Joss Whedon.
Speaking of Joss Whedon, the patriarch to our Anne Rice matriarch.
Yes.
In our little land of geekdom.
Yes.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We all loved the show. And if you didn't watch it. And you need to go watch it now.
You do need to watch it again. Netflix.
Watch it.
Just saying.
So... The season ended, season 7, the series ended, Buffy was done, the whole big transformative universe place happened, and we were not ready to let it go. So, comic books. Dark Horse Comics actually decided to work with Joss Whedon and some other people and continue the series in comic book form. Mm-hmm. So you have something that started as a show, visual media, and found new life, second life, in book form.
It's the undead now.
It's the undead. Mm-hmm. It's become a vampire.
Yes.
It was sired, and now it was sired by the show, and now we have our little vamp.
And Joss Whedon, what I found so interesting is he is actually in this as well. Like,
yeah, no, he's very much involved.
He's the voice, and he's also a contributing factor to the series.
And I think that's what makes the comic books work so well, is you're not hearing a different version of it. You're not putting yourself into a different... You've seen...
It's not like I am doing fanfic.
I think that's... Thank you. That's what I was trying to go with, and my mouth wouldn't work. It's not fanfic. It's actually from the creator. And
it's canon.
It is. And the fact that I think it's so awesome, he's decided to continue this, and he can do so much in a comic book.
No, this isn't new.
No,
like, we're talking kind of like this is new. It's not new.
It's been out for a while.
It's continuation, and we're just wanting to talk about
we want to talk about something that can be done well.
Absolutely.
And we have so many shows, Firefly, Whedon, that we lost too soon.
We did lose too soon.
And this proves that you can
continue on.
And you can do so much in comic book form that you can't necessarily film for a television show. So the comic books go in some really kooky directions.
And when we say bookworms, we really mean it, because comic book is a form of reading. I mean, this is a great introduction into not only, like, if you wanted to get into the show, great, that's fantastic, get into the show. But this is a good way to get into reading. I got started in comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially a picture book. What is it?
It's a comic book.
So comic books are just grown-up versions of awesomeness. And this is a really great example.
It is. It's a really great example.
You want to get into reading, you watch the Buffy series, try this.
Pick up the comic books. You can get them online. You can get them on Amazon. You can go to your local comic book store.
Absolutely.
I guarantee they have them there. And watch the madness unfold. Because
Snake Eyes has them, our local place.
There you go.
And they like us girls. I mean, they're really cool with us girls.
They're in awe when people walk in, when women walk in. So, check them out. If you liked the show, if you didn't like the show, if you didn't like the show, I mean, I'm going to like you, but I'm going to judge you. You are going to be silently judged.
I don't know about silent.
If you're a fan of comic books in general, check them out. They do stand alone. You don't have to have watched the show.
Joss Whedon. I mean, that's 2 words. That's all you need to know.
Joss Whedon. He touches shit and it turns to gold.
Yeah. I do love that man. Although he kills a lot of moment of silence. Yeah. But that's okay. We still love him.
We still love him. But now, we've talked about how you can transition from visual media, TV shows, into books. Really awesome books. Buy them.
Yes. Buy all the books.
But the more... buy all the books.
Buy all the books.
But more commonly, you see books that get turned into movies. And most of the time, meh. Wah, wah, wah.
Well, I mean...
It depends. Sometimes it's done well, but sometimes it's not.
I actually have a thing. Can I say a thing?
Say a thing.
Okay. So, bookworm problem number 1. When you have a book...
That you love. That is part of you.
It's become part of you. You've taken it in. It's part of your soul now, essentially. And they decide to pick up movie rights.
That is like the most frightening thing as a bookworm. You go, oh God, they're going to ruin it.
Please, no. And then suddenly, the movie comes out.
And you're going to go see it.
It's my favorite book. I've read this book before. It's so awesome. Right? I'm sorry. That was really bad.
No, but it's completely true, though.
It is.
You're going to go see it. Whether you want to or not, you're going to have to go see it.
It may tear out part of your soul.
Very much so. Twilight series.
Fucking
Twilight series.
Well, I mean, like, I didn't really like the books in the first place.
Well,
this is what
we always have this problem.
But that's okay. You know, I appreciate the fact that it's a book. Just because it set women's rights back. Or attempted to. I mean, we're stronger than that, so of course it didn't set us back, really. But it tried.
It's a freaking book.
All right, we'll cut it off here.
Stop.
But we will talk about Divergent.
It's
so good.
It's everywhere now. You can't turn on the TV and not see the promos for the movie.
Absolutely not.
Now, I'd never heard of it. Never knew anything about it.
You're welcome,
Whitney.
I'm taking sole responsibility.
You are, and thank you.
You're very welcome.
I joined Whitney's
book club.
You know, real life book club. We actually meet and have drinks, and it's kind of fun.
Socialize.
We socialize, which I think bookworms tend to think they can't do. But
we're
shut-ins.
We get caught up in a book, and we're like, okay, I'm gonna go to
don't talk to me, don't look at me. I'm reading. I would never have known about this if it wasn't. Again, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a book club book, and I had to read that.
She did.
Divergent is this month, and I devoured it in a matter of hours.
It took me less than 8 hours.
If I hadn't had to been to work.
I worked. It was 2 days, but it took me 8 hours. And that was actually me trying to be nice and not speed read. Because I was like, oh, this is so good. I've got to read it.
I can't help but speed read. I can't. It's in my nature.
What just happened?
What happened here?
Couldn't put the book down.
So, read the first book. The movie is coming out, the 21st of this month?
Next Friday. This Friday.
I will be there.
Absolutely. We're going.
It's
first in line.
It's going to be awesome. But I'm curious because the nature of the book is it's kind of Hunger Games-esque. I think we talked about this. It's Hunger Games.
It's dystopian.
Yes.
And we're not going to do spoilers, so
no,
don't freak out. You can continue to watch the segment.
No. I'm interested to see how they can take the world that this book revolves around this idea of this, not really post-apocalyptic. It's not like that, but it's obviously set in the not too distant future.
Well, they don't really go into what's going on outside of this dystopian society. There's something,
and
because
you know heavily that there's a great fear of war in these people.
Yes.
So that gives you a little hint as to something horrible has gone down.
There's been a catastrophe.
Something bad has happened. That's why I say kind of post-apocalyptic. But for any of you who don't know anything about it, don't know anything about the book, or don't know anything about a movie, not spoiler, just very brief what's kind of going on
what you've seen
here.
in the commercials, and what you would have seen if you've taken those online quizzes.
Exactly.
What faction are you? Well, we're going to tell you about the factions. They're based off of personalities and virtue traits.
Basically, people have decided in this world that no one religious group or race of people is the cause for man's misery.
Absolutely.
It's some character flaw within man himself.
Well, that we have a core virtue in all of us that's more dominant.
Yes.
And the factions, if you will, there's 5. No spoilers.
We're really not going to spoil you.
But there are these 5 factions based off the 5 main virtues that they've decided have. It's very similar to the founders of Hogwarts. The 4 houses have chosen their each distinct personalities, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. But,
and see, I immediately had the flash to the 4 cardinal virtues, the 7 heavenly virtues.
Well, I mean, all literature is based off. Well, most literature is based off of their spin, the author's spin or idea
on previous
Absolutely.
things. So basically, you have these many factions, and at the age of 16, after you're given an aptitude test that tells you which faction you probably belong in, you have to make a choice. And the book follows the choice of one girl.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to get too much more into it than that, but there is something different about this girl.
Divergent.
She's divergent. And you'll learn what that means when you pick up the book, so please pick up the book.
And you need to pick up the book as soon as possible.
Read it in a day and a half, read it in 2 days, and then go see the movie.
Easy, fun, exciting read. And don't get thrown off that it's in the young adult fiction aisle. Don't get thrown off by that. Because she was judging me.
I always feel a little bit of shame when I walk down the young adult aisle. I'm like, people are looking at me as a darn near old
we
woman.
We are adults, and we are young at heart. Therefore, we qualify to read in the young adult section. Sorry.
See,
Sorry, I'm not sorry, really.
But people look at you funny. And I always want to be like, no, I'm shopping for someone else. I have a little sister. Don't judge me.
I have a little sister at home.
My little sister is me.
I actually have 2 little sisters.
See, you have valid excuse. I go down there and I'm just like,
I don't want a valid excuse. I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm excited. Just saying.
I'm interested to see how well they can adapt. Because in the books,
that's what's scary. That's the bookworm girl in me that's shivering.
And in the books, they do a really good job of drawing you into the mindset.
Yes.
As this girl goes through...
It's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, as this girl goes through this very transformative experience of finding out what she is, where she belongs. And it's easy to get really sucked into that in the book, and I'm really hoping they don't gloss over that aspect of it on the screen.
So the previews look really good though so far, and it looks
I just
as
hope
though
they don't
they're
turn it
going
into
to
a
address
Michael
it.
Bay,
I don't
blow
think
up
so.
stuff, people fighting,
so.
and they miss.
I think that we're not going to get as much detail of the other factions, but I think the faction she chooses is going to be the highlight.
Well represented.
Absolutely, I really do, and I think there's a conflict between 2 factions, and I think we're going to get a lot of those 2 factions.
I think you're going to get a lot of the action portion of it.
Absolutely.
And not so much maybe
and I'm okay with that.
Overarching.
I'm okay when a book is made into a movie, and they do a section of it really well, and they don't cherry pick. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I know what you mean, and I've seen like
when
examples
they mix,
of that.
Yeah, when they take and try to put it all into it, things happen and they get cut and they get changed
and then
it makes
it
me
doesn't
sad
come
and
out
it breaks
right.
my heart. And I leave the movie theater crying because I love the book so much.
And we were both really big fans of this.
I think I'm exaggerating saying crying. But no.
Today, after we're done here, I'm going to go to the bookstore and buy the other 2 books in the trilogy.
I actually already downloaded them on my... Oh, I already have the library. You mean you had to wait for the bookstore to open today?
I'm setting you ablaze with my mind. Do you feel warm yet?
Jida Huntrix. I'm deflecting.
I'm divergent, and I'm going to set you on fire.
By the way, I don't know if... Well, anyway.
That seems to be a misconception with some people. They've seen the previews of the movie, don't know anything about the book, and they're like, are they superheroes? Do they have powers? No, they don't. These are just people. And that's why I like the psychological aspect of it.
I'm really excited about this.
And
go pick it up. Go read it. The movie's coming out. See the movie.
It's by Veronica Roth.
We are actually going to be at our local movie theater, the big giant one, in case you
know what you're
probably... Absolutely.
You know what we're talking about. Although
first screening.
I have a real big issue with seeing movies on opening night.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'm more of like Sunday matinee when everyone's at church and they're not there to talk during the movie, so I don't like...
I can appreciate that, but we've been waiting.
I may have to make an exception.
I've been waiting.
I may have to make an exception and go opening night.
This book came out in 2011.
But Sunday matinee.
2011.
Sunday
You're
matinee.
You're going to make me wait?
Sunday matinee. The popcorn is cheaper.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
This will be another discussion off camera because there might be a little bit of a... What? I don't think so. I think that we're actually... I'm a little antsy because she has been teasing me for about 2 weeks.
Mercilessly.
There's something called Black Dagger Brotherhood.
Did I say that loud, right? Say it proud.
Did I say that right?
Yes, it's the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And I think I've briefly mentioned it on the show before, but I haven't been able to go into it. And it's one of my favorite series, and I'm desperately trying to suck her into my web and my world here with this one.
Well, I introduced you to Divergent.
You gave me Divergent. I want to give you the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
And so you gave me something in return. And what she gave me was The Dark Lover.
The Dark Lover.
She said not to be worried because I don't read romance.
It's not just romance, though.
Not just?
Not just romance.
Now, she lied. Because
I never lied.
Before, it was a book and it had a romantic element. Now you're saying it's not just romance, which means that it's more than a...
Technically, I guess it would be categorized as paranormal romance.
Okay. I'm okay with this because when they say paranormal romance, it's really a paranormal book that has a love story
that has some...
Which most novels have...
Anymore, yeah.
A love story in it. I'm sorry.
And I mean, you're really diehard lit for lit's sake.
Absolutely.
It can be a little dry, but almost everything has some kind of romance in it.
And I'm okay with that, as long,
And the reason I'm finally getting to have my little J.R. Ward, that's the name of the author, Black Dagger Brotherhood fangirl geek out moment, is because in April, the latest book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood is coming out. And if you're like me, and you know a book is coming out in a series you love, you're sitting there going, how many days? How many days?
Well, no.
How many days?
Well, if you're like me, I go and I reread the entire series again.
I always read the last book.
Well, I time it just right. So, I don't know how many times I've read some books.
Yeah, a lot.
I have some of the first novels memorized.
In honor of this new book coming out by J.R. Ward, we're gonna do something a little different here on Bookworm. Something we've never done before, but we're hoping you're gonna enjoy.
I think so.
And that is, we're gonna have a little discussion here. We're gonna have a little J.R. Ward moment, and at the end of it, you're gonna be posed a question.
A question.
A question.
Well, we ask questions all the time. What kind of question?
This is a special kind of question. This is a trivia question.
Trivia!
Trivia!
I love trivia, by the way.
I'm going to ask a question of our audience about the Black Dagger Brotherhood universe. And it's not a hard question. It's not something that you're going to have to read 12 books and...
So, can I find it in the first book?
You can find it in the first book. That's the only clue I'm going to give you.
Okay.
The answer is contained within the first book. And
I mean, that's pretty easy because I mean, it's a first book in a series, so those are always cheaper online.
And even in the store. A
paperback version of it. Used bookstore and go to the fantasy paranormal section.
And it's going to be right there. But we're going to get to that question in a minute.
But so you're asking a question. But what is why should they answer us?
Why should they answer?
Why should you answer our question?
Because we are going to do a prize. we're going to do a giveaway.
I love giving presents.
We're going to give a present to the first person who can correctly answer this trivia question about the book Dark Lover, either on the forum, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Well, okay. They can either answer on our forum, or they can answer in the comment section of YouTube.
You can't,
because both will have a date stamp.
The first person, the first person to correctly answer the question about the Black Dagger Brotherhood is going to receive a prize, and we'll tell you what that is in a minute.
Yeah, so just
get excited.
Hold on.
Get excited. Get pumped.
Get right on the edge of your seat.
Are you there?
Yes.
Give them a minute.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you've never read the books. You have no idea about the series.
I have no idea. But I heard a word that I like. It's a V word.
And it's not the one you're thinking of.
No.
Vampires.
I do like some vamps.
And it's a vampire series.
Mm-hmm. But, okay. So it's a vampire series.
Yes.
My first question is, what makes this different from Anne Rice or Twilight or our other vampire novels?
I think the thing that stands out with these books is the voice of the author. First of all, she has an amazing voice.
So it's a she.
J.R. Ward is a she.
I like vampire written from a female point of view.
I do too. I think they bring a certain.
It's the sultry side of the vampire.
Exactly, and these vampires,
dark and twisted.
These vampires are sultry, but they're not your Twilight sparkle, wax poetical. And they're not your Anne Rice.
That makes me so happy.
They are not. And Anne Rice, love her to death, but she has kind of a tortured vampire. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're no longer human.
It's almost emo.
They are
almost just
slightly emo. Louis a little more than others.
Yeah.
But these vampires, first of all, they were never human. That's not a spoiler alert. It's just not. They're a separate species.
That's actually really interesting.
They are born vampire, and there are no, as it's called, two-pronged conversions. You cannot become vampire. You are born that way, or you're not.
So you're literally going to die if they eat you. If they eat you.
And that's another interesting thing. Vampires drink blood. That's what they do.
Yes.
But
okay, you're getting ready to twist.
I'm not going to spoiler alert, but not necessarily the way they've been typically categorized. It doesn't have to necessarily be vampires preying on humans. Maybe their species is built a little differently.
Okay, stop.
But
stop.
Okay,
I'm calling time because spoilers.
Okay. I want to say stuff, but I can't spoil.
You can't say stuff because I'm really actually kind of excited now. And that's really all you need. You need a little bit of the taste of some kind of new universe to get started.
I just want to give the very briefest of overviews because people are going, okay, well, they're called the Black Dagger Brotherhood, but
we're talking about vampires.
What's it about?
I was a little confused myself.
The Black Dagger Brotherhood, basically these books, this series of books, and there are several in the series at this point, revolve around these vampires of the race that are the race's protectors. They are the warriors of the vampire race.
Nice.
They are the Black Dagger Brotherhood. And these are
the elite.
The elite, the biggest, the most of the badasseriness. And
I love
that's a word, badasseriness.
It is a word. We have it if no one else does.
It's in our dictionary. Mm-hmm. And it follows these warriors as they face threats to the race, threats to themselves. And not only that, but because there's paranormal romance, there's bound to be a female in there somewhere. And so a lot of these books, while they don't necessarily center around the romance, it is about a particular male, particular female.
I'm going to steal this book from her real quick.
Coming together. But these are not sissy vampires. They are warriors. They are warriors. They
highly trained vampire warriors. Glossary. You've got to love any book that has a glossary. If I'm reading a book for the very first time, and it's especially if it's a series, and you're giving me a map and you're giving me a glossary, it's. And I had to take a moment. I had to put the book down, take a moment, and
I'm getting
just a little bit,
These books are so encompassing, and they don't take place in a separate society, or they don't take place in kind of an alternate. It's not an alternate history. They exist alongside humans. Now, in the shadows, it's not like your Laurel K. Hamiltons where they exist in the light. People know they're there. It's not True Blood. They are secret. They do not interact with the humans.
Okay. So the humans are getting a protector that they don't know about.
The humans and the vampires. The vampires are a hunted race.
Okay.
They are hunted to near extinction by their enemies.
Okay.
And I'm going to...
This is our spoiler time. Just so you know, I'm shutting her up.
You have to keep me in check, because I'll be like...
Yes, because she's so...
I know everything there is to know about this universe. Literally, I bored...
Ask us questions. Ask her questions. Are you also a fan of Black Dagger Brotherhood?
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. But no, I bored my fiance to tears because I spent like an hour.
She needs somebody to talk to. Basically, what we're saying, and this actually is, I'm gonna throw this out here. I think that on our forum, I mean, this is just an idea. Shoot. What do you all think? On our forum, does anybody want to do an online book club? Because if you do, we should start with this book.
I think that's a fabulous idea.
I think so. That's why I'm the idea man.
See, that's why we brought you on.
Absolutely. Because I think that would be kind of exciting.
I think it would be really great.
This would be great to talk to other people about. Because she's literally chomping at the bit.
Like, someone please talk to me about this. I need someone else who knows.
She has a steak in her teeth. I'm the slave. Let's slay life. Slay life. Yeah, let's do this.
I think that's a great idea. Okay. Guys out there in internet land, pick up the book.
Pick up the book.
Read it.
Dark Lover.
Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. Post questions on the forum. Post questions to us on the forum. I'm gonna get you to read it. And
I'm reading it. When we're done here, I'm going to go download it and then I'll have it. And I'll have it read by tonight. I'm pretty sure. Because it's either that or video games tonight. And I'm going to go with J.R. Ward. Hello.
And here's what we'll do. Next time, when we meet, we'll give it, what do you think, a month? Most people can read a book in a month.
I'm going to say this, and she's probably going to smack me, and that's okay. I can handle it. I think we should call it Hump Month Book Club. Because we're in the middle of the month, like Hump Day. We can have a little camel come out.
Hump.
Read your book. Read your book.
You know what book it is? Camel? You know what book it is?
The movie Camel.
Okay. I think that's a great idea.
But we're going to do books.
We're going to do books.
Reading. That was awful. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. You're not.
That one I'm kind of sorry about. It was bad.
As you should be. But
book club.
I love the idea of a book
online
club. Let us know what you think. Would you be interested in us posing a book to you? And hey, post books to us. If you have a book out there. I think
we're going to start with this one.
We're going to start with J.R. Ward's.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Dark Lover.
We're going to read it. We're going to talk about it on the forum, whether we're talking to each other.
Yeah, we might be the only ones there.
Don't make us talk to each other.
We have to talk to each other anyway. I mean, please talk to us. Be our friends.
We do like friends. We like friends. I like to have friends.
And if you guys like it and you like the segment and you like having a book that we can discuss, both on the forum, online,
suggest one.
And on the show, suggest one. We get through Dark Lover, we have our thing, and you say, I want these bookworm chicks to read this book and talk about this book on the next podcast. Hit us up. Give us a suggestion.
We would love to do that.
I'm always looking for new literature. And I bet a lot of people out there have shit I've never even looked at.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Hit me with it.
You read 3 or 4 books a week?
Usually 3 or 4 in a week.
I read 2 a week, but that's because I work full-time. You work full-time.
I work 40
hours
a week.
But I also go to school. So do my textbooks count as reading?
No. Any reading that you're required to do does not count.
Okay. So then for fun, I probably read 2 books a week. But when the summer comes and I'm not in school, girl, I'm going to make you run for your money.
We'll see. We may have a great book off.
We should. That would be so much fun. And we can do a challenge. We'll talk about this later. Actually,
we just came up with an idea.
We did just come up with an idea.
The great book off.
This is what happens when this is how ideas are formed.
So this is how brilliance is made.
Seriously though, you were teasing them earlier. She teases me all the time. So she's been teasing you for a good 15 minutes maybe. And I'm not going to let you go through what I have to go through.
I'll go ahead and I'll put you out of your misery.
So we're going to do a giveaway.
And
we're going to give you an Amazon gift card. Because I'm really trying as hard as possible to get her into
the digital arts, the digital media. Sorcery! Burn the witch!
I'm not a witch that you know about. Anyway. Just saying.
Dark Lord.
Giveaway.
Stay
on task.
Okay, focus. This is why we can't have nice things. So, we're going to do a book club. And we've been talking about J.R. Ward. And we've decided that the first book in this book club that we're hoping you guys are going to really enjoy is going to be the first book of the Black Dagger Brotherhood, Dark Lover.
Well, because our author highlight
is Miss J.R. Ward.
J.R. Ward.
The Warden. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. The Warden.
Okay, that's actually kind of cute, and it makes me want to read it more.
You can be sillies.
I'm sold.
Okay.
I'm sold.
I have a question for you. Whether you've never read the books.
Can I answer the question?
No. You cannot answer the question.
I mean, not that I know it now, but like, I can, okay.
It's a trivia question, and you can find the answer in the first book. So whether or not you've already read it and you know what I'm talking about.
The Dark Lover.
Or you're going to pick it up and read it for the first time. The first person who can correctly answer this question, either in the YouTube comments or on the forum, is going to win an Amazon gift card for...
And the question is...
What is the Scribe Virgin's real name?
Say that more clear.
I want the name. The original name. The real name of the Scribe Virgin.
Scribe Virgin.
The Scribe Virgin.
I'm sorry. I'm that annoying person at trivia that goes... Okay,
can I get clarification on that?
Could you repeat that question? Because I think that you used the wrong grammar.
I didn't, but okay.
She didn't.
I want to know who can tell me the Scribe Virgin's real name.
Okay.
It's not super hard.
This
but it's
sounds
not
like
easy.
a really easy question.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Because it's only mentioned once.
Oh.
And I've read all the books in the series. It's only mentioned once in any of the books.
The wooden stake in the wood pile? Is that what we're looking for?
We're looking for that one particular stake in a pile of stakes.
Yeah.
It is only mentioned one time.
Okay.
And kind of in passing. So if you picked up on it, or you pick up the book and then you pick up on it,
Did you make this question too hard?
No, God, no.
Okay, good. Because that was my only qualification since I've never read it.
When I was thinking about the question to pose, I was like, I can fuck up their worlds. I can come up with something that's going to be so hard.
She could, but that's only because you know it like the back of your hand.
Like the back of my hand. So I decided anyone can answer this question.
Good.
If you've read the first book or you're going to read the first book,
you're going to read the first book.
You're gonna,
especially after watching this. I mean, you're going to
do it. Do it now. Harder.
So, you will win an Amazon gift card. Because we like to give things away. That's one of my favorite things to do ever.
I'm not that generous, but she is. So
I am.
That's
so now you better be glad you have me.
Better lucky she came along, because I wasn't going to give you guys crap.
Never.
But hit me with it. What is the Scribe Virgin's real name? First one to get it right wins that Amazon gift card.
Absolutely.
So
and hit us up on the forum. So go to That Stupid Podcast Network. Just thatstupidpodcast.com.
Thatstupidpodcast.com. Check it out. Check out the YouTube channel. Leave a comment there. Leave a comment on the forum. You were given the number earlier if you want to pop out there.
480-STUPID-9.
Leave us a message with the answer. Mm-hmm. Give us... Okay, we need to know who you are, so don't do anything anonymously.
Well, okay, so let us know, and then we will respond by email. I think that would probably be the best way. We will get back with you, and if you are the winner, you will be congratulated. Mm-hmm. And we will announce the winner when we meet next time. We'll announce who won it. Absolutely. So you've got 7 days. 7 days. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you too. J.R. Ward wants you. So go Read Divergent. Read it. Read Divergent. Go watch the movie. And for the love of God... And pick up The Dark Lover and read it. Pick up Dark Lover. So you have 8 days. 7 You've been given many tasks, but we believe in you. Saturday the 22nd. Do all these things. We're doing it. You do it. And we'll see you then. Bye. And 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, this week on Bookworm, we introduce a new co-host here on the show, and we talk about some of the new happenings. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna go outside because I think I'm also making you nervous.